all the latest, the big breaking stories in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor. And the first story is this: Operation Sindoor is not over. Operation Sindoor is ongoing. India has confirmed attacking multiple locations across Pakistan, and India has confirmed that these attacks took place in retaliation as a response to Pakistani attempts to target Indian cities. All those attempts, all drones and missiles have been neutralized. That's the latest that we understand. The government of India has said that 15 places in India were targeted overnight. All attempts have been foiled, and in response, the Indian Air Force has hit back and it has neutralized Lahore's air defense system. That's called HQ-9. India is destroying Pakistan's air defense battery. That's the big story that's breaking over here. And we have Executive Editor, Strategic Affairs of News9, Aditya Raj Kaul. We have Executive Editor Kartik Malhotra and Lieutenant General A.B. Shivane, former Director General Merchandise Forces, with us on this broadcast. I'm going to begin. Aditya, talk to us. There is, up until this morning, there was no confirmation. Nobody had any idea. We just kept hearing about, incidents in Pakistan. Pakistan media claiming that 12 drones were neutralized, and so many reports of blasts from across Pakistan. And now we understand what has gone on, because let's face it, including last night, there have been 13 consecutive nights of ceasefire violation by Pakistan along the line of control. And in the intervening night, Pakistan has targeted Indian military installations as well. So what else was India left with to do?
Well, Krishna, last night, a little post midnight, I heard reports from Pakistani journalists and my friends across the border that there have been reports of blasts that were heard in Lahore, in Sialkot, in near Islamabad also, in Rawalpindi as well. And there was a fierce psychosis. I was also told that there were sirens going off. These are sirens of, air radars, basically, that an imminent attack is likely to happen, particularly in Sialkot. And immediately, I posted about these developments and I was called out for, spreading fake news. But, the reality was that Operation Sindoor was ongoing. Obviously, we can't discuss this situation live at that particular time. But the reality of the matter is that this is perhaps for the first time that India has boldly taken revenge, not just of the Pahalgam attack by attacking 9 different locations of terrorists and terror camps, but immediately after, Pakistan opened artillery fire, killed 16 civilians and injured 54, including children, including women, including elderly. India had no other option but to hit back. Also, Pakistan tried to, engage its air assets, etc., towards our major cities, including many in Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir, and that was completely foiled. Attacks in Amritsar, attacks in Jammu, attacks in other places like Pathankot, Chandigarh were completely foiled by our own air defense mechanism, by our own fighter jets, and of course our air defense mechanism, etc.
Right.
So at this moment, of course, Pakistan is in a huddle.
Yeah.
They want to retaliate, but they do not know how to go about it, because our air assets, our own equipments, including S-400, including fighter jets like Rafale, Mirage, MiG-29 and others, are very much deployed in Avantipura, in Srinagar, in Jammu, in Pathankot, in Chandigarh, in Amritsar, everywhere. And we are defending our territory like anything.
Right.
So Army, Air Force, all the armed forces, intelligence agencies are very much prepared. They foresee a retaliation, but they also have a plan B immediately after that retaliation.
There is also a plan B. Kartik Malhotra, it's important, isn't it? You understand the Indian Air Force very well. Help us understand the response from India. It also shows us about our air preparedness per se across locations, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, Krishna. And I think the fact that we were able to deploy drones in a timely manner, and we have now confirmation that the UAS grid drones were used to go ahead and destroy the Lahore, air defense systems. I think it pretty much shows that while India is not in favor of escalating matters, but in case, the team sitting on the other side of the fence decides to escalate it, India is absolutely prepared to go ahead and neutralize whatever targets it needs to. So I think that point is very clear. I think the professionalism of our armed forces, the military precision with which we saw the 9 targets inside Pakistan as well as in POK that got destroyed in phase 1 of Operation Sindoor, where there wasn't a single attack, and deliberately so, on any military infrastructure, any military station. I mean, You had cities, Muridki, etc., which are Sialkot, which are not more than 30-40 kilometers away from Lahore. Had India wanted, in phase one, India could have dropped a missile, India could have targeted the Lahore airfield. India could have undertaken this exercise of destroying the air defense system of Lahore yesterday night instead of the wee hours of morning today. But India did not, as always, want to go ahead with an unprovoked escalation, and that provocation has come squarely from Pakistan this time around. So the point I'm trying to make is that India has the capability, India has the intelligence, India's armed forces are fully prepared to go ahead and strike whatever target inside the territory of Pakistan that it deems fit to put a conclusive end to this conflict. But unless Pakistan decides to de-escalate, India would be left with no choice but to go tit for tat, but to retaliate and make sure that the end objective of India's national security is fulfilled, no questions asked. So the simple point is that Pakistan has once again, in the wee hours of the morning, tried to go after India's military installations. It is not the first time it has done it. Aditya was referring to it some time back. We have recent examples of Uri and Pulwama as well, where Pakistan did try to attack India's military personnel and military infrastructure, and India was left with no choice but to retaliate. This time around also, I think India was very, very calibrated in phase one of Operation Sindoor. We would not have seen phase two had Pakistan decided to realize that it is going to be foolhardy to engage with India in a way that it did across the 15 stations that it launched missiles into. All of them obviously neutralized by India's own air defense, and the preparedness, of course, of the army, of the air force, of the navy as well as the civil police, as well as intelligence, and the fact that all of this is working in great coordination and a timely response, a non-escalatory response, and yet a response which sends a message not just to every Indian, which is prepared to deal with the consequences of further escalation, but also to every Pakistani who makes it a point, election after election, to put puppet governments in charge of the country.
The big story breaking here that Karthik Malhotra is weighing on: bid to target Amritsar, Chandigarh and Jalandhar by Pakistan. All Pakistani drones and missiles have been neutralized. Ludhiana, Pathankot and Kapurthala were also on target. Pakistan trying to target military bases across 3 states. Lieutenant General A.B. Shivane, and now the ball firmly lies in Pakistan's court, isn't it? It was clear that with the phase 1 of Operation Sindoor, that all India wants is to eradicate terror bases, remove terror bases, destroy them once and for all. Those terror bases that are taking innocent civilian lives in India. So India has a job and India has a duty to destroy terror. Now it is Pakistan which was the first to target Indian military bases, and even those efforts have been foiled. So if Pakistan tries to do anything more from here on, it will be them who's escalating.
Krishna, the responsibility to hike the escalatory ladder lies with Pakistan,
right,
for which the Indian Armed Forces and the nation is fully prepared. But having said that, let me give you a military strategic perspective, which is very important, of the Indian strike, the response, and the counter strike, right? Post Pulwama's cowardly act of Pakistan, we chose precision warfare, chose terrorist targets, and responded specifically at leadership, infrastructure, training camps of the terrorists. And we made it very clear. What came as a response was a phase-saving response on a military establishment early this morning at 15 locations across the entire length of the border, LCA and international border, on military targets and civil targets. It was foiled. So one, it shows the strength of the preparation and the technology and the equipment of the Indian Armed Forces to nullify the Pakistanis' attack. Consequent to that, India had 2 options. Okay, say your attacks have failed and now let's call it off. No, this was a war, a just war against terror. And we had said any response will be met by even further severe retaliation. And therefore, how do you retaliate? You don't retaliate off the cuff. You first, what you did was you suppressed the enemy's air defense systems, the HQ-9 and 9B radar systems of theirs, and the entire network, so they became blind, they became vulnerable. Then you targeted their establishments with impunity. And then again, you have mentioned to them, look, we have target you with strike 2.0. If you
Right.
now respond, you will get a further escalatory level. So the responsibility of what you said of escalation lies with Pakistan because they started this war at Pulwama and they need to end it now. And if they don't, they know that they are economically weak. They don't have the war endurance. They're a country with a beggar bowl. They're running out of ammunition. They're running out of oil, fuel. So it will increasingly, geometrically be adverse to them to extend this escalation ladder, which will hit them much, much more harder than what it has hit today.
Right, stay with
Over
us.
to you.
We have Major General Sudhakar G, Defense and Strategy expert, also joining us on this broadcast. Major General Sudhakar G, we are trying to understand India's response to Pakistan's retaliation and how crucial it is in the larger scheme of things. From a strategy perspective, India, talk to us about India's response to Pakistani provocation in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor.
Good afternoon. Firstly, I'm not in India, Krishna. I'm miles away. I'm in Greece, in
Okay.
Santorini Island. So kindly bear me out if there is a signature of any lack of connectivity. As regards to the question which you have asked, yes, definitely, without any doubt, Pakistan has activated the escalatory matrix, if at all it has started targeting. I was in one of the international channels. The same question was asked to me by the anchor, if it is targeted, because we need to corroborate and establish the fact that Pakistan has really targeted the military target. It has got very serious meaning and implication.
Yeah.
Escalation matrix, moment it is activated, it is to great disfavor. It is going to put Pakistan in a great disadvantage. This country does not have ammunition. It does not have fuel. Its troops are not going to the forward line.
It does not have money.
And
It does not have money.
they don't have money. And mind you, this is for the first time in independent Pakistan. There is a corps, capital of Balochistan, 12 Corps. 12 Corps has got mobilized for the first time and moved to Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And some latest, my friends in Europe, just a couple of minutes back, they told me that some of them have also moved into Gilgit and Baltistan. So what does it mean? These are very, very, I would say, knee-jerk kind of a response or mobilization which is taking place in Pakistan, given the fact what you and me, we all know what is happening in Balochistan. Will anyone ever? So therefore, what am I coming to? I'm coming to the fact that have they really targeted the military targets in India? It could be part of the information warfare as well. Let's not ignore or let's not discount that particular option. If it is an information warfare, it should be corroborated by some the government central agency, and a retort or a reply response method should be developed. That is what I am saying.
Right, stay with us.
But if it is a kinetic attack, I will always maintain, although my friends across in defense services, they will say that Sudhakar is always saying the impossible. I am saying take it as a window of opportunity and exploit it to the hilt and make sure that the current alignment of the line of control shifts due west towards Pakistan. As for bid for Hajipir Pass, I know they will never give back. It will never come back. But start making noise. Our future generations will forget that with great loss of lives, loss of numerous people in the armed forces, we had taken Hajipur Pass twice, and mindful of the fact that all the routes from behind Hajipur Pass, from Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they come and converge short of Hajipur Pass. Thereafter, they have shorter routes of access to Poonch and other places. So if you cut off Hajipit Pass or take it to our side, much of your problem of terrorism is actually going to be chopped. And to my understanding, last but not the least, Krishna, is that the fact is it is definitely, inevitably, it is going to assume a escalatory matrix which neither Pakistan nor India can deny. It is, it is to be leveraged by India to its advantage. My take on the whole issue is that the command, control, communication, coordination, your surveillance, your computer, your technology, whatever component and the finances vertical are linked to the ecosystem which is currently supporting the terrorist network in Pakistan. They not only should be engaged, but they should be decimated to the root. Nothing should exist. And by, we should contribute in a manner or channelize our effort in a manner which should eventually see balkanization of Pakistan. The name Pakistan should not exist on the map of the world. Back to you, Krishna.
Right. So, Major General Sudhakarji, stay with us. Karthik Malhotra, I want to quickly check with you. In that sense, it's clear that Indian government has put out a response in that statement that was given on PIB, the Press Information Bureau, that India's military installations were attacked by Pakistan, and this the response was to that, isn't it? There is no ambiguity on that front.
You're right, Krishna, and good afternoon to General Sudhakarji. And of course, Krishna, I dare not agree with General Sudhakarji because about 15 years ago or so, he rescued me from the Sela Pass where he was based, and it's good to sort of share the screen with him. But yeah, you are right, Krishna. We have official confirmation that as many as 15 cities in India were the target of Pakistan missile launches in the wee hours of the morning, the midnight between 7th and 8th of May, and that is exactly what India was able to thwart very successfully, and India has in retaliation taken out the HQ-9 missile launches in Pakistan and of course taken out the air defense radar system in Lahore as well.
So, Major General Sudhakarji, in that perspective, so it's clear that India has put out an official statement. There were 15 cities across the border, close by to the border, which were targeted by Pakistan. And here you go. India has not only managed to thwart all those attempts, every single drone, every single missile has been neutralized. India has managed to go further and destroy Lahore's air defense system.
Excellent. That's the way to go. Like I just overheard the General Shivane sir, he was mentioning about a very weak air defense network that Pakistan has. In fact, I would go a step further. It doesn't have any air defense.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have. So therefore, Pakistan, with the classic example, one of your BrahMos, our BrahMos, it landed up, managed to sneak through, went and landed up in a very sensitive location. Pakistan didn't come to know about it. So what more proof are you expecting? So therefore, what I'm coming to is that if Pakistan has resorted to attacking our military installations, there are multiple options. My take on the whole issue is that it is now or never. Pakistan should be treated with very punitive measure so that you activate the western border, the Duran line. You activate Balochi Liberation Army. I mean, there is everything is fair in love and war. There is an old saying.
If all is fair in love and war.
Yeah. So if Pakistan has crossed all red lines,
yeah,
and doesn't have any respect for our unarmed civilians, tourists at a place, Pahalgaon, where I have been courageous of that division. Okay, and it's far better than Switzerland. And unarmed civilians.
Sir, so even post that. You've seen
we have self-esteem.
Indiscriminate firing along the line of control of Pakistan. We've already lost so many civilians near the line of control in the last 24 to 48 hours because of indiscriminate Pakistani firing. Lieutenant General A.B. Shivane, one is the fact that Pakistan is most vulnerable when it comes to its air defense system, and India has gone ahead. But the Pakistani army as a whole is in a vulnerable position, as Major General Sudhakarji is talking about, be it what is happening in Balochistan or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This is one of the most vulnerable states that the Pakistani army has ever been in.
I agree with Major General Sudhakarji. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity when Pakistan is facing multiple fronts. In Balochistan, there's a loss of faith. They're getting ambushed. You saw the ambush yesterday the video coming up. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is happening. The militants have been targeted, and there is despondency that the state could not, protect their vital tools of terror and proxy war. And now, Pakistan, with its absolutely very low forex reserves, an economy which is barely crawling, Indus Water Treaty, which has impacted them physically and psychologically from being from going dry to the creation of floods, and then being stretched across the entire border. You must understand, they can't pull out from Baluchistan and the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where they have got two cores, and on top of that, the deployment is come. So there is a Chanakya Niti in this, to stretch them out, to tire them out. That's why you took your time.
Right.
Create windows of opportunity, select vulnerabilities, and strike them. And if they strike back, raise the level of strikes, and let me assure you and your viewers that today India is not only economically or war preparedness in a better state, but we are today prepared to respond to any escalatory ladder that is posed on us, and the ownership lies with Pakistan. And if it does go on to the higher escalatory ladder and goes on to a conventional war, I think this will be the time that Pakistan will have to think about its existence.
Right.
Over to you.
Stay with us. Right, stay with us, Lieutenant General A.B. Shivane and Major General Sudhakarji and Kartik Malhotra. Let's take a look at this ground report from TV9. My colleague getting us this ground report from Kupwara. Take a look.
इस समय मैं मौजूद हूँ पुंछ इलाके में। पुंछ के ठीक सामने पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड जम्मू कश्मीर का कोटली इलाका आता है। ये वही इलाका है जहां पे भारत की तरफ से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को अंजाम दिया गया था और कई टेरर कैंप्स और लॉन्च पैड्स को तबाह किया गया था। ज़्यादातर स्ट्राइक हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन, जैश ए मोहम्मद और लश्कर के ऊपर भारत की तरफ से की गई थी। ये जो ठीक सामने वाली पहाड़ी आप देख रहे हैं, ये लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल की पहाड़ी है और यहीं पर इसी इलाके में ठीक इसके पीछे पाकिस्तान का कोटली इलाका आता है। ये वो बदनाम इलाका है जहां पर आतंकियों के ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स और लॉन्च पैड चलते हैं। ये वो इलाका है जहां पे आतंकी जो है वो यहाँ की तरफ इन्फिल्ट्रेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं ताकि आतंकियों की घुसपैठ जम्मू कश्मीर में करवाई जा सके और साथ में जम्मू कश्मीर में लगातार जो आतंकी हमले हैं वो यहाँ पर करवाए जा सके। लेकिन इन सब के बीच भारत की तरफ से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के तहत इन आतंकियों को ढेर किया गया है और पूरी तरीके से जो लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल का इलाका है, फिलहाल जो सिचुएशन बनी हुई है, भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच सेना हाई अलर्ट मोड पर है। लेकिन इन सब के बीच ये पुंछ का इलाका सबसे ज़्यादा इफ़ेक्ट हुआ है सीज़ फायर वायलेशन में, क्योंकि कल पाकिस्तान की तरफ से इसी इलाके में आर्टिलरी का इस्तेमाल किया गया था। कई रिहायशी इलाकों में गोले दागे गए थे। वहीं भारतीय सेना की तरफ से भी पाकिस्तान को मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया गया था।
इस वक्त हमारी मौजूदगी कुपवाड़ा के चौकीबल इलाके में है। ये एलओसी का सबसे फ्रंट लाइन है और यहां से आर्मी की सीमाएं शुरू हो जाती हैं। रह रहकर पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जिन इलाकों में शेलिंग की जा रही है उसमें कुपवाड़ा का चौकीबल इलाका भी आता है और उसकी वजह से पूरा मार्केट आप देखेंगे, इस कोने से दिखाइए, दाहिने तरफ से लेकर बाएं तक पूरा मार्केट बंद है। सड़कें सूनी पड़ी हुई हैं और धीरे धीरे करके इस पूरे इलाके को लोग खाली करके यहां से वापस जा रहे हैं। ऊपर के गांव को बार बार ये कहा जा रहा है कि सुरक्षित स्थानों पर आप लोग चले जाइए। ग्रामीण इलाके को खाली करके जा रहे हैं और यहां से लेकर वहां तक एक बार जूम करिए उस लाल बस तक और वहां उस इलाके तक अगर आप देखेंगे सड़कें सूनी पड़ी हैं। इक्का दुक्का गाड़ियों को छोड़ दें तो कोई मूवमेंट नहीं है। आर्मी की मूवमेंट बहुत ज्यादा नजर आ रही है और ये पूरा इलाका, ये पूरा मार्केट इस वक्त खाली है। डर और दहशत है क्योंकि इस इलाके में रह रहकर शेलिंग हो रही है और इस शेलिंग के चलते ये एडवाइजरी है कि आप लोग जल्दी से जल्दी इलाके को खाली कर दीजिए ताकि जान माल का नुकसान ना हो। सीमाओं पर फौज की तैनाती बढ़ा दी गई है और हर एक गोली का जवाब भारतीय सेना डटकर दुश्मन मुल्क को देती नजर आ रही है।
लगातार लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पर जिस तरह पाकिस्तान की तरफ से पहलगाम आतंकी हमले के बाद सीज फायर का उल्लंघन किया जा रहा है, दूसरी तरफ इंटेलिजेंस इनपुट्स है कि घुसपैठ का प्रयास भी आतंकियों की तरफ से हो रहा है। उसके चलते तमाम लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के इलाकों में, चाहे वो जंगल के इलाके हैं, हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड इलाके हैं या बर्फीले इलाके हैं, वहाँ पर सुरक्षा बल सतर्क है। जो अलर्टनेस है वो चाक चौबंद कर दी गई है। इस समय हम मौजूद है नॉर्थ कश्मीर के लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के फॉरवर्ड इलाके में, जहां पर आप देख सकते हैं बर्फीली पहाड़ियों पर किस तरह देश के वीर सपूत बीएसएफ का जवान जो है वो यहाँ पर तैनात है। और बीएसएफ के जवान इस समय आप देख सकते हैं, हम इनकी पेट्रोलिंग पार्टी का हिस्सा है, वो पेट्रोलिंग लगातार कर रहे हैं। आप देख सकते हैं ये बर्फीली पहाड़ियाँ करीबन 11,000 से 13,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पर यहाँ पर है और लगातार कड़ाके की ठंड के बावजूद यहाँ पर जो सुरक्षा बल है वो तैनात है। और बीएसएफ लगातार पुलवामा और फिदायीन हमले के बाद या अब पहलगाम आतंकी हमले के बाद सरहदी इलाकों में इसी तरह सतर्क है और सक्षम है। और हम करीबन 11 से 13,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पर है। ये टेरन्स मेरे कैमरा पर्सन आपको दिखाएं इस तरफ मुर्तज़ा, ये देख सकते हैं आप। यहाँ से भी आगे ये जो पूरा ये फॉरवर्ड इलाका है लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल का, इस समय भी बर्फ़ यहाँ पर हल्की हल्की गिर रही है और बर्फ़ मौजूद है। यहाँ पर पैर भी बर्फ़ के नीचे धंस जाता है अगर यहाँ पर कंट्रोल तरीके से नहीं चल पाए। ये देख सकते हैं हम ऊंची चट्टानें इन ऊंची पहाड़ियों पर भी लगातार मौजूद है। और यहाँ देश के जवान जो है वो लगातार इन सरहदों की हिफाजत कर रहे हैं। इन तमाम इलाकों में मौसम ख़राब होने के चलते काफ़ी जो कुदरती चुनौतियां हैं वो भी रहती हैं और जवान जो है वो लगातार इसी तरह यहाँ पर सक्षम है। मेरे कैमरा पर्सन लगातार आपको तस्वीरें दिखा रहे हैं TV9 पर एक्सक्लूसिव लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के फॉरवर्ड इलाके से, नॉर्थ कश्मीर से हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं कि बर्फीली पहाड़ियों पर किस तरह जवान जो है वो लगातार तैनात है और इन तमाम सरहदों को महफूज रख रहे हैं। दुश्मन को लगातार चुनौतियां दे रहे हैं। लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पर सेना जो है वो लगातार जवाबी कार्रवाई कर रही है और बीएसएफ भी लगातार कमान संभालते हुए यहाँ पर इस कड़ाके की ठंड के बावजूद, बर्फ़ के बावजूद मौजूद है और सीधी तस्वीरें यहाँ से दिखा रहे हैं। और वहीं कश्मीर घाटी में एंटी टेरर ऑपरेशन लगातार अपने चरण पर है और करीबन 3,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों को जो है वो क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए बुलाया है। 100 से ज़्यादा सस्पेक्टेड को लगातार सुरक्षा बलों ने जो है हिरासत में लिया है और आतंकी नेटवर्क को लगातार ध्वस्त करने का प्रयास है। जम्मू कश्मीर में जॉइंट सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस जिसमें इंडियन आर्मी, पुलिस, बीएसएफ, सीआरपीएफ के तमाम जवान जो है वो हिंटरलैंड से लेकर एलसी और लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल पर लगातार तमाम चुनौतियों को पार करते हुए इसी तरह सतर्क है और तमाम सरहदों पर नज़र जमाए हुए हैं, चाहे वो जंगल के इलाके हो और घने जंगलों के साथ साथ ऊंची पहाड़ियां हो या बर्फ़ की चादर से लिपटी हुई ये फॉरवर्ड पोस्ट की पहाड़ियाँ। हम लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के फॉरवर्ड लोकेशन पर मौजूद हैं और आप देख सकते हैं ये बर्फीली पहाड़ियाँ जो कई हज़ार फीट की ऊंचाई पर है। यहाँ पर जवान लगातार जो है वो पेट्रोलिंग भी कर रहे हैं और इस एरिया को मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। लगातार दुश्मन पर नज़र है। ये देख सकते हैं आप, कड़ाके की ठंड, बर्फ़ लगातार यहाँ पर हो रही है। उस बीच जवान जो है वो इस पूरे इलाके को पेट्रोल करके सुरक्षित कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पर जो ही कोई संदिग्ध मूवमेंट या संदिग्ध आवाज़ या हरकत सुनाई देती है तो यहाँ पर जवान जो है इसी तरह रुक कर पहले पोजीशन बनाते हुए फिर आगे की ओर बढ़ते हैं। आतंक की गतिविधियों पर नज़र बनाए हैं, आतंकियों पर कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं और ओजी नेटवर्क को ध्वस्त कर रहे हैं।
Well,
Many thanks for staying with your favorite news destination. Rolling coverage here continues on News9 because Pakistan's bid to escalate the situation following Operation Sindoor's success has been decisively negated. Let's break that down for our viewers, what exactly India did to thwart the Pakistani escalation. Latest coming in is that after Lahore and Karachi, another major city, Rawalpindi, has also been hit. Visuals are coming in of the drone attack on Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Note that Pakistan Army headquarters is also in Rawalpindi. Visuals from Rawalpindi on your screens. That also seems to be the cricket stadium over there, where the PSL match is supposed to take place between Karachi and Peshawar later in the day as well. Now, we were telling you about how Indian air defense systems first thwarted those missiles coming in from Pakistan, and then after that, the response in proportion, in swift action as well. India has responded proportionately in the same domain and intensity, neutralizing multiple Pakistani military assets, including an air defense system in Lahore as well. This comes after Pakistan launched the drone and missile attacks on Indian military targets overnight, attempting to strike Avantipura, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Bhatinda, and even deeper into the western sectors like Bhuj and Phalodi. However, India's integrated counter-UAS and the air defense systems successfully intercepted all of these threats. That's right. All of these threats completely neutralized. Pakistan's escalation left nothing but negated. The debris of Pakistani attack is now being recovered across multiple sites. Some visuals from Amritsar that we were just showing you, clearly establishing the Pakistani offensive. Some of those downed missiles and mortars that people found in hay fields across Amritsar, many of those visuals coming from the border points as well. And the cricket stadium in Rawalpindi that has been hit by our drone attacks as well. This was right after Pakistan and Islamabad tried to attack India. 15 of our locations, a big attack coming from Pakistan. And our surface-to-air missile system, the Sudarshan Chakra, the S-400 aerial defense systems being mobilized and deployed into action for the first time, downing all of these 15 projectiles, heading for all of these locations, the locations that I just mentioned. For all of our viewers, we're talking about Avantipura, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Bhatinda, even deeper western sectors like Bhuj and Phalodi that were being targeted by these projectiles. A proper Ministry of Defense statement that has now come out. Pakistan's bid to escalate was negated. Proportionate response by India, talking about how Pathankot, Amritsar, Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh, Nal, Phalodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj. All of these places, 15 in total, were attacked with the help of drones and missiles. And the cricket stadium in Rawalpindi has been hit via Indian response, our own Harpy drones that were used, the S-400 used to down those missile projectiles coming from Pakistan. And then on Thursday morning, India retaliated. Those are the locations that Pakistan tried to target overnight. That's the latest development and details that we're getting. Pakistan's big and major escalation. Right from the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh to External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, everybody kept on saying the same thing. Nobody in India is looking for a war, but in case of any escalation, the retaliation will be given in the same vein, tone, tenacity. It is going to be a firm response. These 15 locations that I just mentioned to you, right from Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh, Nal, Phalodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj. 15 locations that were targeted, and India's response has been swift, has been proportionate, giving it back to Pakistan in the same tone and tenacity. Visuals coming in from Rawalpindi. And mind you, Rawalpindi is of significance, of grave importance for Pakistani military assets, because the Pakistan military headquarters is also in Rawalpindi. To demonstrate and showcase what India can do, 24 missiles as part of Operation Sindoor, 9 terror hubs that were dismantled and flattened. None of those 24 projectiles were downed by the Pakistani air defense systems. None of them. And about 15 projectiles that came from Pakistan towards India, each and every one of those threats neutralized with the help of our surface-to-air defense system, the S-400 Sudarshan Chakra, being deployed and put into action for the first time and coming in handy. The air defense system of India holding strong in the face of these threats overnight, and today in the morning, Thursday, is when we hit back. We struck back from Pakistan, major locations. An HQ-9 air defense system of the Pakistani military has also been destroyed. The HQ-9, manufactured by China with Pakistan, downed with the help of our Harpy drones. Another lethal weapon when we're talking about destroying surface-to-air defense systems. The Indian Air Force used S-400 Sudarshan Chakra system, and India fired the air defense missiles towards the projectiles coming from Pakistan. Pakistan tried to target at least 3 states' military bases across those 15 locations that Pakistan tried to attack.